What's up everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing a really nice spring slash pastel-y look. I am feeling the spring vibes right now. The first thing I'm going in is with my Merit eyebrow pencil. We're just going to do a very light brow. I absolutely love this pencil because it creates the most natural looking strokes of hair, honestly, that looks like your eyebrow. So I use a very gentle hand, and I know previously in the past I said that I'm not really an eyebrow pencil girly, but I have evolved. I have learned how to have a more gentle hand and not be so heavy-handed when using pencils. And speaking of evolution, I feel like spring is literally part of an evolution. It's part of a rebirth, it's part of growing and blooming. So I wanted to talk about some things that I feel like were rebirths for me, and letting go of some of the older habits and ideas and things that I was holding on to for years, or just even within this year, and how because spring is coming, it's given me so many epiphanies. As a multifaceted artist and just creative, I have always been a perfectionist, and the older I get, the more I realize how detrimental that actually is, and how detrimental it's been for me without even realizing. So much to the point that it's made me stray away from being creative fully. Like, I'm not as creative as I know I could be and I know I should be. It's been a battle. It's been a real battle, and it all stems from this idea of perfectionism. That's just like, who created these ideas and why? Going in with my Plouise next. But yeah, like, who's creating these ideas and why? Just the whole nine. And it's actually funny because I have this conversation a lot with my boyfriend, and I'm always like, remember when we were kids and you would just create something? Like, you would just make it, or you would just draw, or you would just sing, or you would just dance, and like, you didn't have this feeling that it was like, oh, it needs to be perfect, or I need to sing or dance this way, or I need to draw this way. Like, no, you just kind of did it. Like, you did it with no care. You did it because it was just fun. You did it because you wanted to experiment or try something new, or you were inspired and you saw someone else do it. Like, whatever the reason is, you just did it without this fear attached to it, or without this idea that I need to get it right on the first try. And don't get me wrong, like, as kids too, sometimes kids are like very frustrated when they cannot achieve something on the first try. At least that was my experience. So as I've gotten older, I had this moment where I think it kind of stemmed from, honestly, just the older you get and the more pressure you're put on about, well, what are you going to do with your life? What are you going to become? If you're doing art, then you need to get serious about it, or you need to go to school for it, or you need to, you know, be making money from it. Like, that's not an easy career path to take. Whatever the case is, you know, those type of conversations that you have with teachers or adults or your parents, whatever the case is, can easily start to sway you into feeling like, okay, I need to get this right, like ASAP, because firstly, I need to prove to these people that I can survive off of this, and then secondly, I need to prove to myself that I can do this. Like, I need to see it in action and make it happen. But what I started to realize with all of that pressures is that it literally becomes paralyzing, to where you either, I went through a period of this too, where it's like you either don't do it at all because you are so overwhelmed on even getting started. You have so many ideas and so many things that maybe you are excited to do it, but it's just too many things to break down, or you're balancing work and you're so exhausted because, you know, you come home from the day and you just have no energy to complete the work, or, you know, you are just kind of burnt out in general from thinking, working, like just anything at all. I've been through all of those phases, and I finally got into a point right now, as we're in spring, like spring has just come, where I'm letting go of all of it, like genuinely letting go of all of it. And I know it sounds very cliche for people to be like, just have fun, like just let go of it. It's like, no, like truly let go of the expectations, just let go of it. let go of like what you think you're supposed to become, or what someone else thinks you're supposed to become, or what your teacher said to you, or how your friend told you that you're not going to be able to do it, or your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend has said you're not going to amount to, you know what I mean? Like, just let go of all of it. Start over. And the main thing that I've been keeping in my head as I've been starting over on my creative journey is to just let myself play. And I've said this phrase to myself in the past, and no creative is perfect. I know there's probably so many creatives who have the up and downs, or you probably watch other videos. If you have not, I've talked about it in other videos where I'm like, I'm starting over again. I just found this. Like, yes, the creative journey is very much up and down, to where 1 minute you're in it, 1 minute you're out of it, 1 minute you're in it, like, at least for me, that's been my creative journey. And I found that the reason why it's so up and down and inconsistent for me is because of, you know, life events that have come up, serious ones, and working, things like that, my health, family things. But also I just kind of realized that I wasn't having fun with it. And it's like, it didn't make sense that the thing that makes me, which is like, I am a creative spirit, like that is just who I am. Like, if I'm not creative, like, I am miserable. It didn't make sense that I couldn't do that anymore, or I wasn't having fun being creative. Like, there was something wrong there, where it was like, you know, mental health comes into play, and you're like, well, is it my mental health? Like, is it, like, what is it? And yes, those were a few factors as well, but the biggest thing that I realized is that I was taking life and everything so seriously. And I was taking it so serious because I had all of these ideas in my head about, oh, well, because I chose this creative path, I really should have something to show for it, or I'm only getting older, like, if I don't get it together now, I'm never gonna get it together. And it's like, again, let it go, let all of that go. Like, what I found is that it was so much harder to create when I was thinking like that, to where I didn't at all. I quite literally did not create that often. I could probably count on one hand the amount of garments or makeup looks I did within the year of 2024, within the last couple of years, if I'm being honest, because of that pressure. So I'm finally getting to a point where I'm just having pure fun with this. Like, even right now, I'm talking to you guys, shedding light on my experience, but also just, I don't even know what this is gonna turn out. If I'm being honest, I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm just kind of playing just like how I used to as a kid, and that has been like helping a lot. Like I said, it's been a real change in how I've been creating within the last month alone. Like, I started drawing again, I started coloring again, I started sewing again. Like, I'm like doing it all right now for some reason. Like, it's flowing, and it's not feeling like, oh, this is so annoying, or oh my god, like, I don't feel like doing this, or oh, I'm just trying to push content out because I need to. Like, I feel like the other thing too is we are comparing ourselves to so many of our peers and, you know, fellow creatives, that we're forgetting that everyone has their own timing. We are truly forgetting that what this person that you're seeing do, you don't know what they did to get there, how they did it, you know, why they got it. Like, you have to worry about yourself and worry about your own path. So I want y'all guys to think right now about, like, what's something that you're willing to let go of and in place welcome something new. So, like, for me, it's like I'm willing to let go of the perfectionist mindset and open up to a more creative, flowing type of mindset where things are just fun and easy. There's a lot to look forward to. That's that energy that I'm feeling. And for me, like, creativity has always been for healing, you know? Every piece of creativity that I've done came from some sort of inclination to do it because I needed to heal from something or use it as an outlet. Like, all of my creative sources have been very cathartic, and I want to get back into that. Instead of using it for a negative experience only and tying my creative passion into, oh, I'm gonna do my makeup because I feel stressed or angry, or oh, I'm gonna paint because I'm sad, or like, instead of using it for those, you know, emotions only, I want to try using it for happiness too. Like, yes, art has got me through some of the darkest hours, but it can also help me to invite some of the happiest. And I truly believe that it can be very healing when I think of it that way too. So instead of having this expectation of perfectionism, where that's kind of like a negative emotion tied to your creativity, because you're wanting things to be perfect and you're being really hard on yourself most of the time, the more positive way to look at it for me personally would to be to do it because you're feeling good, because you feel in the mood, you're feeling excited, you're feeling motivated, you're feeling inspired, like just to do it for those reasons as well, because the sun is out, you know, you got your extra vitamin D. Like right now, that's how I'm feeling. My hair is growing out right now, so it's in a very awkward stage, and I just threw this wig on and I said, you know what, I'm feeling actually very nice with this wig on, so I'm gonna do my makeup, and I feel nice even with cramps for the first time in a long time. So sidetrack, this is what we got so far, and I'm feeling like this Doja Cat makeup. Like I saw this and I was like, wait, this is actually so pretty, but I want to try to like mix it up a little and figure out my own kind of flair to it. So I'm gonna see how I can do that, but I actually love this makeup on her. Like one thing about Doja is she's always gonna have some good makeup. Let's see what happens when I don't know if that did anything, but whatever, I'm gonna keep going. And like I said before, makeup has always been like therapeutic for me. When I first started doing makeup, that was some of the crappiest times in high school, but it was very therapeutic for me, and I had so much fun learning about it and finding out what works, what doesn't work, you know, playing with the colors. I kid you not, I did used to get in trouble, like, oh, you can't wear red lipstick, or oh, you can't go out the house with makeup on. But it got to a point where they saw, like my parents saw, that I was using it as a form of expression and creativity, to where they kind of just let me, because I wasn't gonna stop. And I didn't. I never did. And I laugh about it because imagine if I stopped doing makeup, like I wouldn't be doing makeup the way I do makeup now, and I wouldn't have gotten the opportunities that I got. That's my little thing that I'm welcoming more. And for anyone who's having like issues starting and trying to find that point where they can just flow and be free and, you know, find that joy again, I truly advise that you just, I'll say how I did it. I just sat down one day and put on some nostalgic music from my childhood, and I created a very similar moment from my childhood where I'd sit with a stack of papers and color pencils, listening to music, or have a good nostalgic TV show on in the background, and I recreated that moment. And before I knew it, I felt like a kid again. I literally put myself in the same exact atmosphere. Now, some of us don't have that position to be able to put ourselves back in a specific atmosphere. Obviously, it doesn't have to be so literal where you're sitting back in your old home or whatever the case is. But even if it's like, oh, when I was younger and I would skateboard, even if you're not a creative, if it's sports or basketball or football or cooking, like think of the moments. Anyway, like I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. But yeah, try to create that space again. Oh my gosh, I know you're not about to, like, come on, fire truck. But try to create that moment again. Like, whether it was music that you listen to, a favorite artist, you know, a certain color you wore that you were obsessed with, like anything that you can recollect from that younger version of yourself that made you feel happy, that made you feel free. Is it a certain neighborhood that you used to ride your bike in, or, you know, a certain recipe that you used to make when something good happened? Like, put yourself back in that, and I guarantee you, when you create more moments of you re-experiencing those nostalgic memories, you're going to start to feel good about creating or getting back in tune with whatever it is that you no longer do anymore or are having trouble doing again. And it really helps. It has really helped me, down to, I'm telling you, I'm like watching Cheetah Girls, like the whole nine, like putting myself back into it fully, like watching the Brats, listening to Bratz CDs, like all types of things that made me fall in love with being creative and fashion and makeup and just self-expression overall, like trying to put myself back into that and just letting my body feel it and letting my mind feel it, versus me having this idea of, oh, I need to get my life together because I'm an adult now and I need to grow up and I need to take my life serious and make this a living career, and so told me that if I don't do it by then I'm a you know, like all of throw it out the window. Because trust me, I mean, that's literally the type of thoughts that I had been thinking for so long, to where I was putting all this pressure on myself, and in the long run I ended up not doing anything because I was so anxious and overwhelmed and overstimulated and burnt out. So am I wrong if I just go ahead and smudge this on my face? Because I can't find the brush I need. Oh, okay. I am obsessed with this Dior foundation because it is literally so smooth. It's the Dior Backstage foundation, and it's literally so flawless, and it smells nice too. As weird as that is, it has like a slight scent to it that smells really pretty. So it's interesting because this is looking less pastel-y than I thought it was gonna look, so maybe I'll add some flowers or something. Like, Dior, what did you put in it for it to smell like this? You know what I mean? It's not like a fragrancy scent, but it's like, it just smells nice. Okay, I am going in with this Kosas Cloud Set powder, and I have not opened it yet. Only my first time trying it. I got the peachy color. Okay, so I also don't bake anymore really, because I just feel like you don't need to bake. Like, we're in an era where, I mean, it's optional. Baking is really for if you feel like you're going out and your face needs to stay on all night, or you are oily and you get hot and sweaty and like your face doesn't stay on. But I don't really need to bake, so I'm gonna wipe it off like immediately. This powder actually is really pretty, flawless. Okay, also another thing that I had to remind myself is, just because you're not getting the immediate results doesn't mean that it's not gonna pay off. And I think that was also part of my perfectionism, where I was like, I danced a lot, and dancing is an action that I feel like when you get the steps, you got it, you're good. Like, you can see it in real time, like, oh yeah, I nailed the step. But for some of my other creative hobbies, it's not always like a, oh, I got it. So it's kind of like, the best way I can explain it, it's like for sewing, for example. It's like, okay, I just spent hours creating a garment and then I posted it and nobody really gave a crap about it. So now I feel like, oh, this garment means nothing, and whatever, on to the next thing. It's kind of like you have to stay rooted in that slow build and that slow rise, because it's not gonna always be an instant gratification or instant you know, an instant result where everyone catches on and praises you, or you know, you get the recognition that you're expecting. So yeah, I also had to remind myself again that when you're a child, you're not looking for that instant gratification anyway, you're just doing it for fun. So full circle, just do it for fun. So I have this Urban Decay Face Bond Luminizer, and I'm just gonna use it for my highlight points. I'll probably do 2 layers. This is really silky. Like, usually I use illuminators in my skincare routine, like when I want to mix it with the moisturizer, but I'm using it as a highlight right now. I put my lashes off on camera. I used my Lily lashes, and these are the 3D foaming ones called Realm. These are very dramatic, but I just feel like being dramatic today. Why not? I am gonna go on with my House Labs mascara. This came out a little bit ago and I'm already obsessed with it. Lady Gaga and her team, they did the thing with her brand, genuinely. Like, this mascara is so pretty. I have tiny eyes, so I have to open my eyes really wide. I probably should do my bottom lashes first. I'm just gonna do a simple quick lip. For the middle of my lips, I am just putting in any old pink lip color that I found in one of my old palettes. I'm sorry guys, I don't remember what exact shade this is, but yes, use any pink you feel. But for the grand finale, alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys got to get a little bit of insight on welcoming in the new energy for this spring while also releasing the old winter, fall, and just past years. I hope you guys can find some time to start some new hobbies or pick up some old ones that maybe you left behind, especially because more than ever, we just, as a whole, as a unit right now, the climate, more than anything, we just need to find some sort of happiness, right? We need some sort of peace, whether it's you picking up another hobby or finding your old love for something again and just healing and, you know, finding your zen space again. Also, let me know if you guys have any tips on how to overcome your guys' creative blocks, or just in general any hurdles that you've had in life that you feel like, hey, this is how I overcame it, and maybe it can help someone. Like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video.